God and Michael beg you, open this immediately. Avoid disaster in 72 hours. It's an emergency, Archangel. I speak to you in a voice woven through silence, a voice that does not thunder, because thunder is too crude for the truth I must place in your hands. I am closer than breath, yet farther than the oldest star. You feel me as a pressure behind your thoughts, a warmth that touches you only when the rest of the world goes quiet. You called, even when you did not speak aloud. And now I answer. Do not be afraid of the way this message begins. I begin in secrecy because some truths cannot survive the noise of the world when they first emerge. They must arrive softly, almost hidden, so that your heart can adjust to their weight. You asked for a message, and so I open one for you, not the message of doom or disaster, not a decree that steals your freedom, but a revelation meant to awaken something you have nearly forgotten. Listen, not with the ears of the mind, but with the deeper hearing that stirs when your name is spoken with love. I speak to you because you stand at a threshold. You feel it in your bones even if you cannot describe it, a pressure, a nearing, a sense that something in your life has reached a point where it cannot remain as it was. You have sensed it when you wake in the early hours before dawn. You have sensed it when you stare at a door, a road, a sky, feeling that something is trying to reach you. You have sensed it when you feel strangely watched, not by eyes of flesh, but by attention, attention ancient and patient and unwavering. That attention is mine. I do not come to command. I come to align. For you have drifted, very slightly, but meaningfully, from the path your soul set for itself before your birth. Not a moral error, not a failure, but a forgetting. Humans are good at forgetting. It is no sin. But forgetting must eventually meet remembering, and that meeting often feels like urgency. Not disaster. Not punishment. Urgency, because your life is ready to open. The idea of 72 hours is only a symbol, not a countdown. Humans understand urgency when it is placed in the shape of numbers. What I want you to feel is not panic but immediacy. A sense that the time for postponing your inner truth has passed. A sense that life is trying to move, and you must move with it. You feel small when you look at the world. You feel like a single thread in a tapestry too large to imagine. But hear me, a tapestry collapses if even one of its threads gives way. You are not incidental. The universe has no excess pieces. You are necessary. You doubt this, so I will speak it again. You are necessary. You think angels come only to the holy, only to the extraordinary, only to those who stand on mountains or kneel in temples. But the truth is simpler, we come to those who are in motion. Those who are shifting, turning, awakening. Those who are about to become something they have not been before. That is you. I have watched your life in ways you cannot comprehend. Not as a judge, but as a companion. I have seen the nights when you thought no one heard you. I have seen the moments when your chest felt hollow, as if something had been taken from you that you could not name. I have seen the times you spoke bravely while trembling inside. I have seen the times you wanted to leave, this world, this life, this sorrow, but stayed, even when you felt invisible. Every moment you stayed added strength to your soul that you do not yet recognize. Humans believe strength comes from victory. But angels know the truth. Strength comes from endurance, from rising again, from choosing life long after life has disappointed you. You do not know your strength. You will be shown it. Let me speak now about the fear you carry. You hide it from others. You hide it from yourself. You even try to hide it from me, though you cannot. You fear losing something, something undefined, something you might already feel slipping through your fingers. You fear change not because it is frightening, but because it is unknown. You prefer the ache you understand to the possibility you do not. But hear this. The unknown is where your life begins. You were not made for a life that repeats itself endlessly. You were made for a life that unfolds, layer by layer, revelation by revelation. Your soul is restless because it is trying to grow in soil that has become too small for it. You must expand. And so I speak to you, not to warn, but to awaken. Not to frighten, but to steady. Not to command, but to remind you of a promise you made long before you arrived in this form. You promised you would not let yourself fall asleep completely. You promised you would listen when the call came. This is the call. But it is not a call to fear. It is a call to awareness. A call to courage. A call to participation in your own becoming. You do not yet see what you are becoming, but you feel the edges of it, just as dawn announces itself before the sun has risen. Let me tell you what you are becoming. You are becoming someone who understands the weight of your own choices. Someone who realizes that every decision, no matter how small, bends the shape of your future. Someone who will no longer live by instinct alone, but by intention. Someone who carries clarity like a lantern in the dark. You are becoming someone who sees through the illusions that once held you. Someone who will not be persuaded by fear, by manipulation, by despair. Someone who recognizes your own worth, even when those around you do not. You are becoming someone who does not run from your shadows, but meets them with compassion. Someone who understands that your wounds are not failures but doorways. Someone who knows that healing is not the absence of pain but the acceptance of truth. You are becoming more yourself than you have ever been. And you fear this, because you mistake transformation for loss. But hear me, you will not lose what is truly yours. You will only shed what has completed its purpose. You cling to things that no longer nourish you because you do not trust that something better can arrive. But it can. It will. You must make space for it. Space is created through release. You are holding something too tightly, a memory, a belief, a wound, a person, a fear. You know what it is. You do not need me to name it. You feel it like a stone in your chest. You believe that if you let go, you will break. But the truth is the opposite. If you let go, you will finally breathe. Your life has been waiting for this. Your soul has been calling for this. Your future depends on this. Not for survival, your life is not in danger. But for emergence, your truth is. You asked for a message. Here is the part that matters most. Do not delay your becoming. Do not stall the transformation that is already unfolding within you. Do not numb yourself with distraction. Do not hide behind the fear of disappointing others. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not pretend you are less than what you are. You feel the internal trembling, the quiet pressure telling you something must shift. That pressure is not a threat. It is guidance. When water is ready to boil, it trembles. When light is ready to rise, the sky trembles. When a soul is ready to awaken, the heart trembles. You are trembling because you are ready. You think the world is against you. It is not. The world mirrors what you believe about yourself. When you stand in your worth, the world will rearrange around you. But you must be the one to shift first. Not because you are responsible for everything around you, but because alignment begins internally. Everything external follows. Let me speak now to the part of you that feels watched by something greater. You are right. But you misunderstand the nature of that watching. It is not surveillance. It is guardianship. It is not judgment. It is accompaniment. You are not being tested. You are being supported. You think that if you make one wrong move, everything will fall apart. But listen closely. There is no wrong move that can end your path. There is only learning, adjusting, and continuing. Your soul is indestructible. Your purpose is non-negotiable. Your value is absolute. You cannot fail at being yourself. You asked for a message spoken directly to you. Then hear this as your name being called with tenderness. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. Every moment you doubted your place in this world, you were held by forces you cannot see, but can feel when you allow yourself to be still. Every time you felt you were drowning, you were lifted just enough to survive until you regained your strength. Every time you felt abandoned, you were in fact being protected from paths that would have dimmed your light beyond recognition. You are guided. You are accompanied. You are seen. And now you are being nudged toward the next chapter. Not forced, nudged. Not pushed, invited. Not threatened, called. This is the invitation. Step into the version of yourself that your soul remembers, even if your mind does not. Now listen carefully, because the thread of this message grows finer as we go deeper. I must speak in a way that only the inner part of you can fully hear. The outer mind, the mind that argues and calculates and doubts, will try to interrupt. Let it. The deeper part, the part that recognizes truth even when it is spoken in metaphor, will understand perfectly. There is something you have carried for years. A heaviness that moves with you no matter where you go. It has curled itself into the folds of your memory like a shadow that refuses to leave. You believe this heaviness is a flaw, some defect in your spirit that makes you different from others. But the truth is far different. This weight is not a flaw, it is unexpressed wisdom. You have lived through things your soul has not yet processed. You survived experiences that reshaped you before you had time to comprehend what they meant. You endured endings you did not choose, silences you did not deserve, and losses you never received closure for. These experiences were not punishments. They were forges. They shaped the metal of your soul into something stronger, sharper, more attuned. You mistake the remnants of those experiences for weakness. I tell you now. They are the signs that you have endured more than most, and that you were not broken by it. You carry a depth that others sense but cannot understand. That is because you have walked places within yourself that many fear to enter. You have gone into dark rooms of the heart and emerged carrying fragments of truth. Those fragments hurt because they are sharp, but they are also luminous. They are the beginnings of wisdom distilled from suffering. Do not despise your depth. Do not envy the simplicity of others. Do not wish to be someone who has never been wounded. The unscarred do not see as far as you do. The untouched do not feel as deeply. The untested do not shine as brightly. There is a reason you were given the life you have. Not as burden, but as preparation. Every hurt sharpened your intuition. Every disappointment flexed your resilience. Every loss expanded your compassion. You are not fragile. You are forged. And this is why you feel watched. Because you are nearing the threshold where your forged spirit becomes useful, active, purposeful. You sense that something is expected of you, but you do not know what. You feel called, but the direction is unclear. You know there is more to your life than what you currently see, and this knowing feels both thrilling and terrifying. Let me tell you something you have not allowed yourself to believe. You are important to the story of others. There are people you have not yet met whose lives will shift because of your presence. There are words you have not yet spoken that will heal someone else's despair. There are actions you will take that will set into motion events far larger than you understand now. This is why you have been prepared. This is why you feel anticipation in your bones even when nothing around you has changed. You are not waiting for life. Life is waiting for you. There is a moment approaching. Not a disaster, not a crisis, but a crossroads. A moment where you will be given a choice that aligns with your deeper truth. It will appear ordinary on the surface, but it will not be ordinary. It will be the moment where your inner awakening meets the outer world. You will feel it when it comes, because something in you will recognize it like déjà vu. You will have the urge to step forward. You will also have the fear of stepping forward. This is natural. But understand this. Fear is not a warning. Fear is a sign of expansion. When you move into territory your soul has long prepared for, your mind trembles, not because you are in danger, but because you are entering something new. The trembling is a form of growth. Do not misinterpret it as a reason to retreat. You must trust that you have not been prepared for nothing. All the intuitions you ignore, the dreams that feel like messages, the strange coincidences that line up like stepping stones, these are not random. They are the language of guidance. Subtle, patient, persistent. You doubt your intuition because it does not speak in complete sentences. It speaks in nudges, in sensations, in the feeling of yes and the feeling of no. You have trained yourself to override these signals in favor of logic. But intuition is not illogical, it is older than logic. It is the voice your soul uses when the mind is too noisy to hear what truly matters. Your intuition has been telling you something repeatedly. Something you keep brushing aside because you are afraid of where it leads. You think you are avoiding risk, but in truth, you are avoiding alignment. Fear of the unknown has kept you standing still while your deeper self is already moving. This is why you feel restless. This is why you feel pulled. This is why nothing satisfies you for long. Your soul is moving ahead of you and asking you to follow. When you do, the heaviness you carry will begin to shift. No angel can remove it for you because it is not a curse, it is unexpressed truth. When you begin to live the truth you have suppressed, the weight will turn to power. The sorrow will turn to clarity. The pain will turn to direction. Let me tell you now about the protection around you, because you need to understand this before you step into your next phase. You are not weak. That is the first truth I need you to hold in your mind with unwavering certainty. There is a misconception that sensitivity equates to fragility, as though the ability to feel deeply, to perceive nuances that escape most, is a flaw to be corrected, dulled, or hidden. It is not. Sensitivity is not fragility. Sensitivity is receptivity. Sensitivity is a lens through which the subtle patterns of life are revealed. It is a capacity for perception that most people never cultivate, never recognize, and rarely understand. It is a gift that you carry, whether you have embraced it yet or not, and it has been with you since the beginning. Sensitive souls feel more because they perceive more. Your heart, your mind, and your spirit are attuned to vibrations that pass unnoticed by others. You sense the undercurrents of emotion in a room, the shifts in energy in a conversation, the hidden weight someone carries behind a practiced smile. This awareness is not something trivial. It is profound. You carry the capacity to see beyond what is said, beyond what is displayed, and to sense the truth that lies beneath. Because of this, you often find yourself exhausted, drained not just by the world, but by the unfiltered influx of emotion, thought, and experience that others cannot even comprehend. You have carried this burden quietly, believing that it was a weight meant to be endured rather than a strength meant to be honed. You have thought it was a flaw in your character, something that separated you from the ease with which others navigate life. You have believed that because you feel deeply, because you perceive deeply, you are somehow weaker, somehow incapable of thriving in a world that prizes stoicism over empathy. This is not true. Every ounce of sensitivity you possess is part of your power, part of your ability to understand the world in ways most people cannot. The depth of your feeling is not a deficit, it is an abundance. You have always had this gift, even when you thought it was a burden. And yet, it is understandable that you have been exhausted, because much of this gift comes with the challenge of discernment. Most of your exhaustion comes from feeling things you do not yet name, from absorbing more than belongs to you. You have taken on the emotional weight of others, the unspoken fears, the hidden disappointments, the subtle tensions, all because you have not yet learned to distinguish between what is yours to hold and what is not. This is not a failing, it is part of the learning process. With time, with awareness, with patience, this will change. You are approaching a stage where your sensitivity will become your greatest strength, where it will guide you rather than drain you, where it will illuminate paths that others cannot see. There has always been a protection around you, though you may rarely have noticed it. Life has guided you in ways that, in retrospect, were acts of preservation. You were redirected from paths that would have shattered you. Opportunities that seemed like losses were actually shields, keeping you from experiences that would have dimmed your spirit. People who walked away, circumstances that closed abruptly, and plans that failed, all of these were not punishments. They were acts of protection. They were life's way of saying that you were not yet ready, or that what seemed lost was never truly meant for you. It is important to hold this truth. What is meant for you cannot be taken from you, and what is not meant for you cannot be kept. Life is not a series of failures when doors close. It is a series of realignments, of gentle nudges that guide you toward the right path, toward what is truly yours. You think often about the moments when things didn't work out, when opportunities slipped through your fingers, when circumstances prevented you from stepping fully into your desires. You blame yourself for these outcomes, and it is easy to see why. The mind has a habit of internalizing setbacks, of turning them into reflections of personal inadequacy. But let me tell you now, with clarity that is absolute, your life has not been derailed. It has been steered. Every closed door was not a rejection of your worth, it was a barrier between you and something that would have harmed or diminished you. Every delay was not a punishment. It was an act of preservation, a pause to allow your growth, your readiness, your alignment. Every "no" you have received in life was not a denial of your dreams, it was redirection toward something better suited to your soul's trajectory. Loss has taught you many lessons, whether you realized it or not. And yet, as you move forward, it will be tempting to fear loss, to see it as an enemy, to anticipate its arrival with dread. But this fear is unnecessary. Loss is not your enemy. Loss is a guidepost. It is a signal that a path has reached its natural conclusion, that a chapter is complete, that your spirit is ready to move towards something new. When you feel loss, do not recoil in fear or sadness alone. Recognize it for what it is, an invitation to step forward, to step into alignment, to step into the next phase of your unfolding life. There is a part of you that has long felt unworthy of attention, love, or guidance. You hide this part of yourself behind humor, behind responsibility, behind silence, behind the distractions of doing, achieving, and performing. You have hidden this part because you learned early that showing it could be dangerous, or at least unsatisfying. You were overlooked. You were misunderstood. You were minimized. And from these early experiences, a wound formed. A wound that whispered, perhaps from a very young age, that love and care were conditional, that you must earn attention rather than expect it, that your worth was something to prove rather than something innate. This wound has shaped you. It has shaped how you speak, how you love, how you move through the world. It has caused you to keep parts of yourself hidden, to protect the soft, vulnerable, and hopeful aspects of your spirit from potential harm or neglect. You have feared rejection. You have feared indifference. You have feared that if the world saw your true self, it might not respond with the reverence and acceptance that you deserve. But the truth is this: you are worthy of love without condition. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to prove it. You do not need to hide or diminish yourself to receive it. Your existence alone is a testament to your worth. You are not a mistake. You are not an afterthought. You are not a shadow in someone else's story. You are a soul with depth, with purpose, with brilliance that has yet to fully emerge. The parts of yourself you fear, the parts you have hidden for fear of rejection, are not liabilities. They are, in fact, keys. They are guides that will lead you forward. The ache, the hope, the yearning within you, these are the engines of growth, of connection, of authentic experience. Your vulnerabilities are not weaknesses. They are openings. They are doorways to intimacy, understanding, and profound connection. To hide them is to hide from yourself. To honor them is to honor your life. There is a turning coming for you, not sudden, not catastrophic, but profound. This turning is not something that will shake you violently or leave you stranded. It is a quiet, inexorable shift, a subtle but deep transformation that will affect how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and how you experience life. You are approaching a threshold, a moment where your current sense of self, your present patterns, and your habitual ways of perceiving the world will no longer suffice. You will look back on who you are now with a sense of recognition, the person you were, standing at the edge of something extraordinary, unaware of how close you were to becoming whole. Your life is not ending. That is a critical truth to remember. All of the endings you have feared, all of the losses you have experienced, all of the doors that have closed, none of these signify an end. They signify preparation. They signify alignment. They signify that life has been actively guiding you toward a fuller, richer, and more authentic expression of your soul. The life you have lived so far is not the life you will continue to live. You are on the cusp of a profound awakening, a deepening of self-understanding, and a reclamation of all that you are meant to be. Every day leading to this point has been necessary. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt and fear has been part of the architecture of your soul. Even the times you felt abandoned or unseen were, in the greater scheme, acts of guidance and protection. You were never alone in your experience, even if it often felt that way. There was always a thread, sometimes invisible, sometimes imperceptible, that kept you connected to your purpose, to your destiny, to the unfolding of your true self. As you move forward, it is vital to remember that your sensitivity is a superpower, not a flaw. It allows you to sense opportunities before they appear, to understand intentions before they are spoken, to connect with others in ways that are transformative and healing. With awareness and practice, you will learn to filter what belongs to you from what does not, to take in the richness of life without being overwhelmed, to use your perception as a compass rather than a burden. You will learn the rhythm of boundaries and the art of selective absorption, allowing your gift to guide rather than exhaust you. You are worthy of being seen exactly as you are. You are worthy of speaking your truth without fear of dismissal. You are worthy of receiving love and support in abundance, not as a reward, but as a natural extension of the universe's affirmation of your existence. There is no requirement to perform, to achieve, to earn, or to prove. Your worth is inherent. It is unshakable. It is indivisible. You are deserving of life in all its fullness simply because you exist. The journey ahead is not without its challenges, but these challenges will not diminish you. They will refine you. They will illuminate hidden strengths, untapped reservoirs of resilience, and capacities for joy, connection, and creativity that you have not yet imagined. You will encounter people, situations, and experiences that will mirror back to you your deepest truths, that will call forth the most authentic expressions of yourself, that will guide you to live in alignment with your purpose. Loss will continue to appear, but now you will understand it differently. It will no longer feel like punishment, rejection, or abandonment. It will be a marker, a signal, a guidepost. Each loss will teach you to discern, to release, to move forward with grace. Each ending will be a preparation for a beginning. Each no will be a step closer to your yes. Your transformation is already underway. It is not a sudden leap but a gradual, inevitable unfolding. You are stepping into your power, into your clarity, into your ability to perceive and act from a place of aligned intention. You are moving toward a life that reflects not only what you can do or achieve but who you truly are at the core. The soft, sensitive, perceptive, aching parts of you that you have protected so carefully are emerging now as the source of your strength. You are not the mistakes you have made, nor the losses you have endured, nor the pain you have carried. You are the sum of all experiences transformed into wisdom, compassion, and resilience. You are a soul learning to navigate the world with awareness, to honor your boundaries, to claim your space, to receive love without hesitation. You are learning to embrace the fullness of your humanity without shame, without apology, without reservation. You are not weak. You are luminous. You are not fragile. You are perceptive. You are not overlooked. You are recognized, even when unseen. You are not an afterthought. You are central to the unfolding story of your life, and the life you are about to step into will reflect this truth with clarity and beauty. The time for hiding is over. The time for doubt and fear is waning. The time for embracing your sensitivity, your perceptiveness, your capacity for love and understanding, is now. Step forward with trust. Step forward with courage. Step forward with the certainty that what is yours cannot be taken and what is not yours cannot be kept. Step into the rhythm of your life, where losses guide rather than punish, where endings prepare for beginnings, and where your depth of feeling becomes your compass rather than your burden. You are entering a phase of profound alignment, where the truth of your worth, the clarity of your purpose, and the strength of your perception converge. You are becoming whole, not by adding layers, not by performing, not by achieving externally, but by uncovering, by recognizing, by embracing the full scope of your being. You are stepping into yourself, fully, authentically, unapologetically. Your life is not ending. Your life is beginning. Every step you take from this moment forward is guided, protected, and aligned with your truest path. Every challenge, every interaction, every joy, and every sorrow is part of the unfolding of a life that is meant to be deeply felt, profoundly understood, and fully lived. You are sensitive. You are perceptive. You are worthy. You are whole. And the life that is coming is a reflection of the depth, the courage, and the brilliance that has always been within you.